stream. I did not have chapstick, as I'm going to try to get this taken care of today. So that I apologize. I might have to mute it because I'm in the store and they're playing. I do not have access to this music for joining. Hey guys, I'm going to be getting started in just a moment. I just need to get out this store. I don't have licensing for this music. I've been on mute that whole time, John. Thank you. That's why you meant by audio AI travel. Rookie mistake, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much for letting me up, letting me know that I didn't have my volume on. I was running my mouth too. Like y'all don't know, I was in mid flow. I was in mid getting my talk on. So I'll let you know again, to talk today is about discipline, but it's about relationship discipline, and not relationship discipline in the way a lot of people think about, but it's about relationship discipline and about how to make sure you are in the right relationships. Okay, how to make sure that the relationships that don't bring value to your life and to your journey, how do you know to get out of them? Not just how do you know to get out of them, but how do we know to stay out of them? Right? It's really, really easy to find ourselves because as humans, being connected to people, being in relationships with people, being engaged with people is natural, right? That's why networking is such a big part of business. Okay. So going out and being a part of clubs, being in neighborhoods, being a part of organizations and groups and communities, that's significant. It's what helps you build your those interpersonal skills that help you build a connection with others. You know what I'm saying? It's that skill that helps you truly tie in and connect with people and be able to know that, look, here's what's important for everyone, right? Here's what's important for us all to be successful is to understand that we need to work with people who one want to see us succeed, right? You can work with people. So for example, you may be working with someone who is not necessarily seeing things the way you see them. You may be working with someone who does not agree, thank you very much, with the glasses. You may be working with someone who may not necessarily agree with how you do the things you do, right? But they may still be invested in you being successful. You may be working with someone who's selling a different product than you. You may be working with someone who has a different approach or a different way of doing things. That does not mean they do not want to see you be successful. It's very important for you to realize that the relationships you're in with the people who you are dealing with, it's important that they, one, want to see you be successful, and two, they do not wish you any harm. Now, what's the difference between somebody wanting to see you successful and somebody not wanting to see you have any harm? What's the difference between someone who says, "Hey, like yo, like I really, I really want to see you be successful," and someone who's like, "Yo, I want to see you do bad," right? The difference is if you're working to get someone who said, or you have someone in your life who doesn't want to see you successful, they're not going to do things to support it, right? They're not going to do things to lift you up. They're not going to do things that are going to encourage you. They're not going to try to find ways when it's difficult for them to fill that void, right? So that's someone who doesn't want to see you succeed. They may not necessarily take steps to prevent you from succeeding, uh, um, but there's someone who wants to see you fail is a whole other level. So someone who wants to see you fail will take active action to see that you fail. You have to be weary of it because it's a very thin line. It's a very thin line in the things that they will say to you, the way they will engage with you, the things that they'll talk about, the people that they'll talk to about you. It is important, guys. I cannot express how important it is for discipline to be a major part of your business and a major part of your relationships. I have seen and I have been a part of relationships that were detrimental to my well being. And we've seen other people be in those relationships. But how does discipline fit into this? Where does discipline come about? Where discipline is the thing that makes you say, hey, yo, um, your discipline is going to get you through this bad relationship. How does that work? Okay. So let's say you have someone in your life who you are counting on and you've gone to and you say, hey, you're an important part of where I want to go, right? What you invest in me. It may be a spouse, it may be a friend, it may be someone who you're working with. Whatever the case is, your investment in me is important to me. So I want you and I need your help in what I'm doing. And then they start to show you that they cannot be counted on. It doesn't have to mean that they're a person who's like, hey, well, I want to see you fail. It may not show up in that way, right? It may not show up as someone who says, hey, I don't care if you succeed. It may not show up in that way. It may just show up literally in the things that they do and say around you that constantly push you away from achieving that goal. Take a second. Think about what I just said. They may not do things specifically to attack it, but it's just the way that they engage in your life that results in you constantly moving away from your goal, constantly doing things or feeling in a way that prevents you from moving towards your goal. it can be bad. How does discipline come in? Discipline is when you identify that this person is no longer good for your life. You need to get away from them. Everybody talks about cold turkey. Some relationships are hard to go cold turkey on. Some relationships are very difficult to just say, I'm going to get away. I'm leaving. I'm gone. I'm just going to never come back because we are social beings and relationships. Keep in mind now, right? So, this is why it's important. Everything that we do is about relationships. It's about getting back and being in and involved in and sharing in relationships, right? So we go to work to make money to buy things that we can enjoy with other people or to spend time with other people, even if we spend time alone. And the internet and social media means that we can spend time with people without actually needing to be near the people. Like you guys are spending time here right now, and you don't actually have to be here. So, what does that tell us about how important it is to have people in your life? There are people in your life, they don't even care. There are people in your life where all they see is what value you can bring to them. And if they don't feel like you're bringing the value to them, they will try in every way to tear you down. The discipline comes in when you decide to no longer come around. There's this whole thing out right now about, hey, you need to disappear for 6 months and then pop back up, disappear, focus on AI, no alcohol, no sex, no women. Come on, listen, look, listen. I'm going to be honest with you, right? You don't need to disappear. You need to focus on your goal, right? So that's not disappearing. If you go somewhere, if you're currently in an environment with people who do not support or do not want to go to where you're going, they do not see the world the way you see the world. They do not wish to travel and participate in things in the way you choose to do so. If you start traveling a different path, you're not going to disappear on them. You're just on a different path. Imagine this, you're walking down a road and you're with a whole bunch of people. Maybe you're with, I don't know, 10, 15 people. And while you're traveling the road, everybody on the road says, hey, uh, let's go get ice cream. And you were like, I don't want to get ice cream. I want to work out. As you come up, there's a turn. There's a little fork, as they say, in the road. And everybody's like, I want to get ice cream. And you're like, I want to go work out. And then when you get to that fork in the road, everybody goes to get ice cream and you go to work out. You didn't disappear on them. You just started traveling a different path. You have a different destination. If you have a different destination, if you have different goals, if you have different places that you want to be in your life, you just go. You go to those different places. What I'm talking about is you don't wait for somebody else to be the definition of what's right for you. You don't have to wait for somebody else to come along and be like, hey, so uh I know you want to go get ice cream. So I mean I want to go get ice cream. You want to go get ice cream with me? No, I don't want to go get ice cream. Oh man, you didn't change. Really? I'm not disappearing on you. I'm not changing on you because I no longer want to go get ice cream or because I don't want to go get ice cream at all. I just have a different destination. When you have a different destination, you travel a different path. When you travel a different path, you're going to see and encounter different people and different things. You're moving into the appropriate space for you. Gary Vee had a great line when he says, man, you can't blow up in secret. When you tell your family, yo, I'm gonna start this pizza shop or I'm gonna start this new business, you can't blow up in secret. You don't have to disappear on your family. You don't have to all of a sudden be like, yo, I'm gonna be gone for 6 months. Y'all ain't gonna ever see me again. That's not what that means. What you can do, however, is you can just start focusing on the things that are right for you. And once you start focusing on the things that are right for you, Once you start focusing on the things that are actually going to get you to your goal, and once you stay disciplined in doing so, you're going to find the people in your life, those relationships in your life that don't go towards you meeting your goal have to go away. They have to. And it's not about whether or not you like the person or don't like the person. It's simply a matter of you're traveling the path that they're not traveling. How can those relationships remain? You're not going to be connected to them in the same way. You're not going to have the world vision in the same way. You're not going to see or want the same things. And that's a big thing for me, right? Like that's a really big thing for me is ultimately it all comes down to what you want for you, right? So if you want for you good things, then you'll get for you good things. If someone else says they want good things for you, then they're going to rejoice when you get those good things that you wanted. And when you have people alongside you who are with you, I mean, who are truly with you, they're going to celebrate and rejoice when you receive those things. You have to be very, very careful. You have to be mindful of relationships. You have to be mindful of cancerous relationships. You have to be mindful of there is discipline required to stay out of them because relationships are the essence of man. And when we are comfortable, it is with other people. So here's another thing to keep in mind. When you are with people who don't want you to know other people, and this is specifically going to be for those who are in monogamous relationships, like dating or married. If the person you are with and you're trying to get money, if the person you are with demonizes and destroys every relationship and connection that you have or try to make, they're coming at you with hate. And trust me, and Gary Vee put it really good. And it took me a while to kind of interpret it in my head. It's from a place of fear. The fear is I'm going to lose you. The fear is that if you become who you're thinking of becoming, or who you believe you can be, or who you envision to be, then you won't be with me. I'm going to lose you. And when people are afraid that you becoming who you are supposed to be is going to move you out of their life, they will actively do things to stop it. And they'll do it on a regular basis like clockwork. And it's hard, let me tell you from experience, it's hard to remain disciplined and know, hey, I have things that I need to do for me. So I need to get up and do those things. I need to go out and take action. I need to post every day. I need to write my book. I need to communicate. I need to network. I need to know what I need to know to do my business. And that is what discipline looks like. Discipline looks like when that individual takes action and comes into your life and does things that are intended to destroy you, that you must discipline yourself to deal with the difficulty and the pain of having that experience because we are naturally social animals by nature. Even people who say, nah, I got a small friend group. You do, but you have a friend group and they're important to you. And when someone in that group is preventing you from becoming who you truly need to be, who you truly want to be, it's issues. It's issues, man. It's issues. You can't allow for it to happen. You have to keep in mind, you have to always be mindful of the fact that who are people who are truly on your side, and here's the thing, most strangers are going to be on your side than more strangers are going to be on your side than people who you consider your friends. Mm, take a moment, think about that. You're going to have more strangers be on your side than people who you deem to be your friends, people who you deem to be your loved ones. You know why? Because when you network, when you work with strangers, you work with people you don't know. You work with people who only know you for the value that you can bring to their business. They're going to see that. When people see you as a dollar sign, you have more value in that relationship. And when that relationship is based on that dollar sign and you can produce that dollar sign on a regular basis, then it also removes that element of emotion from it, right? It removes that intimacy from it. And so now you can make this about the work. But when there are people close to you, man, people who say they care about you, people who say they love you, people who lay down in the bed with you, people who you make children with, when you have these people who take on manipulative and destructive actions to see you fail, who intentionally do things to set you back and keep you from being able to build in the way you want to build, you have to be disciplined enough to stay away, right? Because when we talk about discipline, everyone, like I said earlier, we all talk about discipline when it comes to working out. Yo, I'm disciplined. I get up every day at 5:30, go work out, I go read, right? And then after I read, I'm disciplined. I have a specific meal that I eat every day, right? So you're disciplined in that aspect. But what about in that relationship? That times when you're really feeling it, and there's somebody who's like, you're like, hey, I wanna get up and I wanna go. It's 5:30. It's my time to get up. And this person is like, oh well, what about we do this instead? When this person knows you have this goal and they still choose to take action to prevent you from achieving it. It's little things. Oh, just lay with me. Just hang out with me. Oh, I thought we were gonna go out. Oh, well, what if we just have one snack? What if we just do this together? That destructiveness, that attempt to take those small steps of discipline that you're looking to do every day, those attempts to take those things and to turn them into bad things, to make it destructive. Those attempts to be able to have those little things that you are establishing as stepping stones and discipline and using them to hurt you instead. That's where discipline matters in relationships. Oh, the discipline of caring for others in relationships is also important. You have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent. You have to make sure that same consistency you show to hitting the gym on time, you show to showing that person the love that they deserve. You show to showing that person how important they are, right? So there's a challenge when there's an imbalance, right? When there's an imbalance, there's always a challenge. What does that look like for people? Oh, I'll tell you what it looks like. When there's a challenge for someone to be able to just, how do I want to put this? I want to share it with you, but I want to make sure that it just hits the right way. I'm going to come back to it. What I'm really trying to say to you, though, is when there are moments, when there are times where that individual, oh, this is what I was saying. When you put more time into your work than you put into the people who you're working for, it's going to create an imbalance. It's going to make the relationship difficult. It's going to make communication hard. It's going to drive things in a negative direction, right? All of that is going to be an issue if you are not being mindful of both your focus and the relationship. How do you fix it? You fix it by being balanced. You fix it by focusing on those things. You fix it by making sure you care, right? You fix it by making sure that you understand the work that you're doing and the work that you want to get done and the people who you're doing it for all matter. And they know they matter. They get your time, they get your focus, they get your energy. Right? The same way you give your job, your time, your focus, and your energy. The same way you give your business, your time, your focus, and your energy. You want to do the exact same thing when it comes to people who are in your life. When it comes to the people who you want to see be a part of your life. When it comes to making sure that the work that you're doing cares for those who you love, there has to be a balance. So there's discipline on both sides. You have to be disciplined enough to stay away from the people who don't bring value and don't want to see you succeed. But at the same time, you also have to be disciplined enough to understand that what you're working for and who you're working for matters. And you have to continue to work for that. This is the type of discipline that a lot of people don't talk about because being in relationships doesn't seem like a disciplined thing. We're very social beings, so it can be a challenge. It can be difficult. And here's what's really, really important. For those of you who are out there and who are in difficult relationships, I heard someone say one time recently that right now, some of you are in a relationship with someone you're going to have to leave, a relationship you're going to have to end to get to where you want to be. And that's true for some of you out there right now. Some of you out there right now are in relationships you are going to have to absolutely end. You're going to have to close. You're going to have to terminate to get to where you know you want to be, to achieve what you know you want to achieve, for you to become who you know who you can become. These are facts, guys. These are just the cold, hard facts. It's the reality of where we are. It's the reality of how the world is and things that are going on in the world. Not everybody, not everybody is meant to be a part of your life. I know everybody heard the line, some people are in your life for a reason and some people are in your life for a season, right? I think they both have a reason though. You just have to determine how long the season is. You have to value yourself. You have to value your dreams. You have to value what it is you want to achieve. You have to understand that the work that you're doing for you and the things that are important to you are things that you actually do, things you actually focus on. You have to prioritize achieving those goals. You have to understand that sometimes the people standing next to you telling you that they love you and they wish you well and they want to see you do well do not feel that way. I've said all of this and it leads up to this one point, guys. It's not going to be what they say to you. It's not going to be how they say it to you. It's not going to be when they say it to you. It's going to be what they show you. Trust the person's actions. Trust them. You don't have to test them. Trust them. Be true to yourself and trust the person's actions. Travel the path that's true to you and trust the person's actions. Travel to your destination, head to your goal, and trust the actions of the people who are around you. And trust me, the people who don't want to see you succeed, they're going to fall off or they're going to show their true colors. It's who they are. They can't help it. They can't help it. And then when you call them on it, some of them might try to turn it on you. Some of them might try to manipulate the situation. Some of them might try to do other things. But here's what's important. And this is the discipline part about it is you must remain focused and get back on your grind. You must stay focused on what your goal is and on what it is you're trying to achieve and get back to it. I cannot stress this enough. You cannot sit back and wait for someone else to help you achieve the goal you know you want to achieve. You can't sit back and do it. You can go out and you can push it, and then you can accept the help along the way. There are requirements. And the discipline element is the biggest one. And being disciplined in regards to those around you, remaining disciplined in regards to the people around you who want to see you fail or who do not mean you well, maintaining the discipline to stay out of those relationships, stay away from those people. Don't communicate with them. And it's hard sometimes. Trust me, I know it is hard. That is the hard work of discipline. That's what discipline shows up. That's what discipline truly shows up. Hey guys, I'm about to get out of here. I've been on here for 30 minutes, but hey, I'm going to be back on later on this evening. Please stop in, have a talk, chat with me. I love to see you around, guys. Take care. See you on the next one.